Hey guys, and welcome back to Castle Crush, and today we are going to be pairing my level 8 Black Knight with the Giant Growth card to make it super powerful here in the maxed out game mode, and this should be a really fun deck. I haven't done Black Knight with Giant Growth for a long time now. It's kind of a gimmicky strategy, but actually I was surprised at how effective this was. Giant Growth is still a really good card. It's a very powerful card. Black Witch is definitely a threat, but in maxed out game mode, you know, I can much more easily get to the Black Knight than in the regular ranked matches, and certainly gives me a lot more opportunity per match to actually make this strategy pay off. I also paired this with the Necromancer, and initially I paired it with the Valkyrie, but then I was like, maxed out mode doesn't really need Valkyrie, so I ended up dropping that out. But this was basically the deck I was using here, as you can see. Blizzard, Metamorph, Vampire, a couple other cards, double Giant Growth, double Black Knight, Necromancer. I felt it was pretty solid, but there were definitely still some challenges. This was not a super powerful deck, but it was a fun strategy for sure. And when it paid off, it was kind of almost like a Reaper rushing deck in terms of like just really smashing your opponent down super quickly. Like, watch this here. It can do so much. Well, okay, that one got blown backwards, but when it reaches their castle, it can do so much damage so quickly that it's kind of like having a Reaper. Except it's much stronger than the Reaper, and even if they play a dragon, for example, it can still eat through that dragon really quickly. I did like it with the Necromancer to some extent, but I wasn't able to get it going very often. It's really not as effective as the dragon, because at least the dragon, even if it only gets one hit off, its area damage is just much more effective than the Black Knight getting like one hit off. Even if it's a super strong hit, if they have skeletons, it's kind of not very good with a Necromancer. So I still like the Black Knight with Giant Growth a lot, just as a much stronger, more durable type of Reaper, almost. I should have used this with Standard Bearer, but the matches would have been really short then, and I do like the longer matches just from the perspective of making videos, because it allows me to make longer videos with less matches, which is a little easier. But I do think it would work well with Standard Bearer too. I think that's definitely a strategy that would work. You could do Standard Bearer, you could do Rage. I mean, only in maxed out probably, but it still would be pretty interesting. Some people do employ Black Knight in double mana speed as well, but I feel like in double mana speed you run across more spam type decks, which would probably just bog down the Black Knight, and there you're kind of forced to at least include a dragon. I feel like I ran into a lot less spam type decks in maxed out, although you could still certainly run a Skull Queen deck, but I didn't see too many of them. Concerning here to see the Valkyrie out there, but honestly, the Spike Statue did a good job at first, and it's not as much of an issue in this game mode, although in this match I definitely regretted not having a Fire Elemental right there. Definitely a card that would have solved that stack very quickly, but I didn't know what to do, so I just decided to get out there what I could. And then I was thinking about it here. I opted to just try and go in on their castle. I think I should have played the Black Knight in the top lane, but I still managed to get... So again, I went for the Fire Elemental. I kind of decided not to pursue the stack they had. Bit of a risky move right there. I really should have gone 2 lanes because... At least because it would have definitely given me more of a chance to do damage at the end of this one. And unfortunately, when you go 1 lane, as you can see, it just doesn't. And then even placing that Spike Statue there wasn't very good, because they can do area damage through the spiked statue. Yeah, so probably should have won that match, but mistakes were made. This one looking good here. Metamorph the Necromancer right off the start. That is a great metamorph. And since they're not doing anything, I decided to just go in on the castle with 2 lanes. And just being very aggressive right off the start here in this match. Super duper aggressive. Really playing all my cards right off the start. Pretty risky. But you can see I was really trying to go all in. I was basically playing it like all in game mode. And I think double Fire Elemental really would have helped more. The Fire Elemental is such a good card. It really helps to solve Necromancer stacks. And I felt like I didn't use mine enough against the Necromancer in this game mode. I was kind of playing more offensively with it. Whereas I think it would have been better to focus more on getting rid of the Necromancer. So they come in there with a clutch Black Witch. And I think I'm okay because I still have 2 lanes, but then the Gust of Wind really messes me up. I'm working to delay them with these Ice Elementals, but yeah, the Dragon is shut down another lane. So I'm pretty much down to just 1 lane. And I'm like, I really hope they don't have another Gust of Wind. Oh, but they have a dragon. Are you kidding me? Yeah, I'm pretty much shut down at this point. So, yeah. Tough ending to that one, but when you're trying to go with Black Knight at the top of your lineup, you're going to have problems against Dragon, or really anything that is good against Black Knight, such as a lot of skeletons. So that's kind of unfortunately where that ended up. I did like Metamorph a lot with this deck. It definitely had good synergy. Probably would have run 2 Metamorphs and maybe even 2 Fire Elementals. I think that would have given me more to work with. I didn't find the Phoenix to be as useful as I thought, just because with the sort of increased number of crystals, I could really get out Ice Elemental more. I was running out of cards as it was, so Phoenix wasn't really as useful. I think another Ice Elemental would have been good if I really felt like I needed more skeleton coverage. Or just melee card coverage. Phoenix was probably a bit unnecessary because it wasn't doing much against the dragon. I kept repeatedly facing dragons, so I could have gone with Black Witch as well. I do think I handicapped myself by not going with Black Witch, but I just kind of wanted more cards to support the Black Knights. And again, I was even running Inferno, but I kept not using it the way I should have been using it. I kept using it like not... I don't think one single time I actually used Inferno against Black Witch. I don't know why. That's literally why I had it in the deck, and mostly it never came up in my rotation against Black Witch, so whatever. But overall, I really did like the Black Knight strategy with Giant Growth. It's still a really epic strategy, especially... I mean, it really comes down to being like a very durable Reaper in terms of how much damage it can deal. The Dragon was just kind of a big nemesis for me with this deck. Definitely a card I probably should have included. I mean, it's definitely a must-have in the all-in game mode, and it seems like kind of a must-have in this game mode as well. It's certainly a card that works very, very, very well against a lot of situations, and the Dragon remains one of the top legendary cards, obviously. Mostly just because it's good against melee. Well, it's good against, you know, high health melee cards. It's good against low health melee cards. You know, it's good against all kinds of things. It's a very versatile card, and that's why it costs so much mana. In addition to its effect, right here, you can see it really getting ready to go in on my opponent. Unfortunately, I got a skeleton. I had a chance of getting Mud Elemental or Black Knight, but got the skeleton. Didn't end up mattering though, at least I thought. And then I'm like, uh-oh, it's all down to what I'm gonna draw right here. Oh, I draw the blizzard. I drew the blizzard and a vampire. Maybe should have gone for the vampire on the mud elemental, but I kind of thought I was gonna get there that time. Would have sucked if they'd had another gust of wind. Luckily they did not, and I picked up that win. Lots of other people using Black Knights as well. Definitely a game mode where they start to shine. The ice elemental was definitely a problem for me, but I mostly was able to go around it. Sometimes not, but it's another spot where the dragon might have helped me out a bit, because I was pretty much down to just the spiked statue and the phoenix and shaman for countering ice elementals, which weren't the best. Looks like I had pretty good lane control here. The top lane really could have used help. I get the blizzard. I get the... Oh, I didn't quite get the giant growth there, and they knocked me out with the fire elemental. This is such a close match. I have nothing to block with in the bottom lane. No. Unfortunate. I was close to winning that one. But that's going to do it for this video, I guess. So I hope you guys enjoyed some Black Knight giant growth strategy here in maxed out game mode. It's definitely a viable strategy in maxed out. You could certainly, I think, come up with a better deck than I did even. So leave a like if you enjoyed. Let me know what you thought about this video in the comments and what other types of content I should create. Maybe subscribe if you're new to the channel. And thanks for watching, guys, and stay tuned for more videos.